Yo, what's going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Saturday Night Locals. Here we are in round 4 of Swiss for this Cash IRL tournament we've been covering. Obviously, I've been playing Speedroid Kashtira, and yeah, my current record is 2-1. If you guys want to see the last round, I played against Vanquished Soul, so I'll leave that up in the top right. Also, as you can see, I was just closing the Twitch chat there because I was live streaming this whole tournament on my Twitch. The VOD is available if you guys want to see it. All the feature matches, round 1, 2, 3, 4, top 8, top 4, and the finals this time around. Because there was no splitting allowed, thankfully. So if you want to see that, I'll leave a link to it in the description for you to check out. A lot of Yugis to watch, so if you got nothing to do, perfect thing to watch. But of course, you know, we do have a new format coming out with Phantom Nightmare, some new decks getting added into the mix, one of which I have tested a little bit against Voice to Voice. Granted, really wasn't the best testing match, it was rather short-lived, but it was cool to see the deck in action. And yeah, so, I mean, my opening hand, not super stellar. My opponent obviously opened a lot better than I did. Droll and Lockbird is just never really great against Spright, I've found in the past. It's just... honestly, I feel like my hand trap lineup could be better right now, but, like, at the same time, I couldn't tell you a single card to put in there that would be better than the current cards, which are Ash, Imperm, Droll, Bell for hand traps. Like, I'm playing Enemy Controller just because I think it fits very well still in the deck, considering the Kashtira cards, although, I mean, I could change it for something like Valor. I wouldn't see that being a bad thing, but then again, like, I don't know how great Valor is. But yeah, no, Droll's just one of those cards that could have been great against so many other decks, but right now, at least with the way my opponent opened, it's just not going to be great at all. If he didn't open up with exactly red and blue, you know, maybe there's a world where the Droll does something, but it is what it is. And obviously I have Tekatomborg, Double Planet, and Prosperity, and my opponent is going for pretty much full combo here, getting the caddy, now getting that Fenrir search here before ending off the combo. And they've got Carrot, they've got Spright, they've got the Melffy of the Forest, they've got Fenrir, they've got the caddy effect, a quick synchro still. And I draw Econ for turn. I was like, okay, this is actually a pretty solid draw, just because he has got an Xyz monster on board. And obviously that can... you know, help me get into a Zeus, right? And, you know, it doesn't really lose to the Fenrir, per se, which is super nice. And again, this is one of the reasons why I like playing Econ in this deck. Again, pairs well with cash cards, lets you dodge things, lets you take things and make Zeus against certain decks like this, and, you know, the Pearly deck. And I know the Goblin Rider deck, I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but I know that's an Xyz-based deck, so, you know, has some merit, I feel like, still going into this format. But I'm going to lead here with the Planet, Pressure Planet. My opponent lets that go through, which, you know, I guess isn't so surprising. Also, I probably sound a little bit under the weather because I am, so I do apologize if my voice sounds a little weird. Had you know, some cold-like symptoms for the past, you know, 5 days or so. Hopefully, we'll be on the upside soon, though. But yeah, so we go ahead and start Planet, and I go ahead and grab the Unicorn, and he is gonna go ahead and use both the Caddy, right, and then use the Melffy of the Forest, try to negate the effect of Unicorn. So I just get rid of it with the Econ, targeting the Melffy of the Forest to take, and he does not decide to use the Carrot there, which I was like, alright, that's pretty cool. So now I can just basically go Battle Phase and attack into the Carrot. Of course, I'll take a little bit of damage there. And I'm not sure if I actually got the damage right on that. I think I might have forgotten how much attack I was gaining, because that's an Earth, Fire, and yeah, there's just Earth and Fire and Field, so I was gaining 200 attack. I don't know if I caught that there. Easy enough to forget, but they end up quick singling into the Herald of the Arclight, and they're also getting the starter here to bring out a red, which I was like, oh my goodness, that does not stop. He's got an Omni Negate up and now another Monster Negate, so the Zeus play just feels like whatever at this point. just because like it's gonna get negated 100%. So I attempt to go ahead and use Zeus here. He does negate and destroy with a carrot. And yeah, the prosperity is my only saving grace here. And he has 2 ways to stop it. And I've got a dead card in my hand in the form of planet. And I mean, I think maybe there's a world where I didn't have to use Econ there. I think that might have been a mistake, using that. Just because, like, even if he would have decided to negate that with carrot, like, I would have lost out so much on that Econ. And I never gave myself a chance to even summon Tekatomorg to attempt to, like, go for, you know, like, potential Baron play or anything. And obviously, he does negate the prosperity with the carrot. Yeah, so that is just going to be a wrap there on game 1. And we head into game 2 here, where we got to pick up the slack a little bit. Shout out to Imperium Duelist. Link to their site down below, and of course my TCG player affiliate link if you guys are interested in that. That is also in the description. And my Dueling Nexus creator code as well. And the doubles, opening doubles here continues, and I get hit with D-Shifter, which I was like, alright. I mean, I can't complain so much about D-Shifter playing this deck because I sided in myself, so like, it's not the end of the world like it is playing some other decks that I played in the past when you get hit with Shifter. Like, playing Photon Galaxy, for example, that deck literally does absolutely nothing under Shifter. But this deck, you know, you actually still can play to a decent degree underneath Shifter, hence why I sided. It's just, the biggest thing that gets hurt by Shifter with this deck is your follow-up, because you don't have Dukes in Grave, you have Car Turbos, Pipers, all that stuff. So your single plays with your Speedroid stuff is kind of like a one and done. But obviously the cash cards function great underneath the, you know, the Shifter. So, real 6 there off the top. I take Unicorn. We go and special summon Unicorn, attempt effect here to go ahead and search, and I'm basically just setting up the literally the most basic play that I could go for. And you can still use Rubber Band Shooter underneath Dimension Shifter, but it becomes an actual, like, you have to get Terror Top, because if you get double Yo-Yo, obviously you cannot bring back the Terror Top from Banished. So, yeah. But I mean, it's good to know that you can still do that. You just gotta get lucky. So I just do this play. I go ahead and use, you know, my normal summon on Duke. Tekatomorg is gonna tag out into Fukiminoshi Piper, and Piper's gonna go ahead and activate 2 here, and just kind of hoping for some side deck cards because I really need to see them at this point. You know, some blowouts like Judgment, hand traps, but nope. No side deck cards were found on this day, so we just go and grab a copy of Planet. You know, follow-up Planet, I guess. Can never hurt. And then we go ahead and Synchro 10 here into Baron to floor. And obviously we have Birth to be able to bring back the Unicorn to rip the extra deck. And we have Imperm, we have Prosperity for follow, we have Birth. I mean, it's not the greatest, but considering the circumstances, it's about all we really can do here. And this is what I've talked about in the past, like the potential of playing a level 11 Synchro, but I am windlocked at this point, so it doesn't matter. I thought about slapping the Planet down, but there's no need to, I think, unless I do it anyways, just to get a search out of the way. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much I can do here. Like, I could link into an SP Little Knight. Well, I actually can't because it's Tekatomorg, but yeah, that's literally the extent of the play. And we have Baron, we have Imperm, we have Unicorn, which, by the way, my Unicorn extra deck rip I am not proud of in the slightest. You'll see what I mean by that when we get to that point. So, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, as it is, we do have to pass on this board. And, yeah, and also to make things worse, my opponent starts by Imperm on Baron, so now we don't really have an interruption. And they normal summon Deep Sea Diva, which kind of gives me a shed of hope, because I'm like, alright, if I can Imperm this Diva, and he doesn't have a Spright name in hand, I feel pretty good about that. Also, again, Unicorn effect on Res, and I don't know what was going on in my mind that made me get rid of the Sprind. I literally could not tell you why I decided to get rid of Sprind. I think that right there actually cost me the game. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't really have an excuse for that either. Like, I don't know what I was thinking to make me Because, like, he's still under shifter. He can't even use Spright to send anything. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, that was just one of those, like, lapses of judgment that you have when you play. You kind of zone out. At least that's kind of what was happening to me. Kind of zoned out a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Psyched myself out, I guess. I don't know. I think getting rid of Zeus was 100% the right play. I did not play into Typhon. Not that I really was trying to. I couldn't, I guess. Right? So, yeah. They just ends up going battle phase, attacking over the Piper. Gets that out of circulation, which is actually kind of huge. And then main phase 2, they slap the Downer and the Zeus. So, I mean, had I gotten rid of the Zeus, like, you know, obviously I can keep my entire board for the most part, but I also, you know, he still would have been able to, like, play, you know, and resolve his Spright stuff, because he would be able to just, you know, use Gigantic. And I draw Econ for turn, which is, like, you know, not a terrible draw. And I wanted just to slap down that planet, but I know if I just slap down planet, it's probably just getting wiped with the Zeus, which I really didn't want to do just yet. I figured I might throw this Prosperity first, just for 3, and see what I can grab off of that to maybe give me a better idea of how I want to play. And I reveal a very weird amount of cards, well, really weird set of cards, the Scareclaw, Cash, Card Turbo, and Judgment, which, this also kind of makes, you know, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but this kind of makes me think that maybe I should have started with Planet first, you know, maybe to dig for something, but I mean, that's just, yeah, hindsight's 2020, and, looking at all my options, like, I thought about taking Card Turbo, and then, like, normal summoning it, taking the Zeus with the Econ, and then Planet, because it still has 2 materials underneath it. I mean, I guess if I do that, Econ, effect to take, he could just chain the Zeus right there anyways, leaving me with no materials underneath it, and then I can attack, make my own Zeus, put on top, which I actually can't because I already banished my own Zeus. Which is just me not being very good with my Prosperities in this deck. Like, Prosperity is a deck that wholeheartedly works in this deck if you use it correctly, and I have done no such, you know, I've not done that job. I haven't even come close to using it correctly. And it also just requires a lot of, like, heads-up plays, understanding what cards might come up in the future, you know, being able to, like, think 2 steps ahead. And I do decide to take the Judgment here, just because, like, I need to be able to stop a potential play, because I'm probably not going to be able to play this turn anyways, regardless of what I take. So I was like, I need a way to stop him next turn. So I just grabbed Judgment, and I'm like, even if I do Judgment, and, you know, he still attack with Zeus, I still have 1,000 life points left. And to my surprise, he actually lets the planet go through. I special summon the Fenrir, and I'm like, alright, if he's not using it now, he's definitely using it, or well, didn't use it on the planet, he's definitely using it now, which he does. And I go ahead and tribute. I think I used the Econ. Yeah, maybe even not using the Econ there. Maybe that was also just a bad idea. Because I could have just held the Econ, and that just turns stuff to defense too. That's the other thing about that card. I tend to forget that it does something else other than tribute to take. It can just turn stuff to defense, and then it just blocks attack. Especially in a situation like this where I need to, like, protect my life points. My opponent activates starter, and I do Judgment this because I literally just have to. There's no world where I don't Judgment this. Like, there just isn't. So I do flip the Judgment there, puts me down to 4,000 to my opponent's 49. And you can imagine if I still had that Econ, my opponent normal's Beaver. They activate the effect to bring out another Beaver. And I'm obviously dead at this point, but had I kept the Econ, you know, I just turn his Zeus to defense and I live. But even then, maybe he could still get to, like, a gigantic play and still combo, even if he doesn't kill me. And then I'm top decking, so I probably lose either way, but yeah. My opponent asked me, he's like, was there any particular reason why you banished the Spright? I'm like, no, that was just a really bad call, but you know what happens. We have those games. We try to learn from them, which is the whole point of the series here. So hopefully next set that we come back with Speed Cash, I'll be better, get some more testing in, and we should be getting back to Rika too, because I've had a lot of testing with that past couple days, and feeling a little bit more confident with that deck now, having a lot of fun with it. No, I'm not playing the new Romage stuff because I don't think it's necessary. But that's just like a topic for another video, I guess. So, yeah. Thank you guys for joining me. Unfortunately, my run comes to an end here at the end of Swiss. Couldn't make it into the top 8. Would have loved to, but it is what it is. Shout out to DB Lurker for hosting this tournament. And last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine Level channel members who are Cadillacs, Pony Stark, HE8 Cyber, Misfid, Green, and Robin's assistant. Thank you guys so much as always for your kind and very generous support of the channel.